Good evening everyone, Anthony Violi from AV Weather Forecasts. Happy New Year to all my followers. Thank you for supporting me on my forum and on Facebook. My website, as you can see, is finally online. I've kept it very simple. It's avweatherforecast.com, and on my site you will have access to my forecasts, my blog, my forum, my climate outlooks, my latest video blogs. Everything will be on the one website, so now you don't have to go to 3 or 4 different websites. Everything's in one position, so it's very easy to find. I've made the site very simple to use. Basically, you just click on one of the cities. If you want the state forecasts, click on Melbourne. It gives you a 7-day Melbourne forecast plus a 4-day state forecast. There's also a forecast drop down menu where you can do the same thing. Obviously Twitter feed, a few widgets, current overview, and I've thrown in a few computer models as well. Now this is obviously just the beginning. It's obviously going to grow from here. This is where we're going to start. So I'm trying to make it easier for everyone to get access to my stuff. And of course, I've started up a new Facebook weather page, AV Weather. Just click on the Facebook icon in the top corner, that takes you there. You won't miss anything if you follow that. And also my YouTube channel. Just follow that as well. And again, I'm not sure if you follow my Facebook feed, you won't miss anything, and you don't need to follow Twitter because my Twitter feed is on the left hand column. Okay, let's get started. Where shall we start? We shall start with sea surface temperatures. Now, again, as I've been saying, cooling is happening in the Pacific. A lot of cooling in the equator here with the trade wind strengthening. A lot of cooling coming down from the Alaskan coast again, which will feed into the basin in the next couple of months. So by the end of January, this will all be cold in here, and it'll all be very cold water, which is good because it's doing exactly as I said it would. As you noticed 3 or 4 weeks ago, this was all cold here, this was all blue. Now it's all green and warming up rapidly, nicely, just in time for the summer. So we should start to see that translate into some good rainfall as the month goes on. And you look at this side of the country, the Indian Ocean's got 3.5 degrees above normal here. Very warm water here. Now this has to translate into rainfall for us. However, we do need a pattern shift. The pattern still hasn't shifted, and the monsoon trough is what's going to shift it. And if we look at what GFS is forecasting for the next 7 days, you can see the shift in action. The monsoon trough here is really closing in on Darwin, pushing south from Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Again, monsoon trough anchored over this side of the country, bringing in an upper trough into Queensland. You can see this real dry area we've had here, where there's no rainfall through the centre of the country for about the last week and a half now. That's probably going to go for another week. However, all this moisture here is slowly but surely getting pushed down into this area here, and from here it's going to filter across and give us rainfall for all these other states. Again, this is not going to happen without a pattern shift. If I show you the 4-day forecast chart, you'll see what I mean. There's the monsoon trough anchored up over the Arafura Sea near Indonesia. The fronts well north of where they should be, really well north, which means the highs are well north, which I'll explain to you in a minute. But you can see as we run on in the 4-day forecast charts from the Bureau, the monsoon trough is almost in the top end, and actually some of the models this afternoon are putting a cyclone here in the top end, or roughly around the top end. So there's something going on here, which means the pattern is starting to shift. We're seeing a big push from the north, and also the west coast trough is starting to form. As you can see, as you would all have heard, you follow me on the blogs and on my forum, I talk about the westerly winds quite a lot. That's this pattern here. The westerly winds where the fronts are, they're well north where they should be for January. They should be well relaxed and further south and pushing down towards Antarctica. Because they're up here, they're keeping these highs up here. Because they're keeping these highs up here, all the lows, or all the moisture is trapped up in this area here. These highs producing upper high ridges, so all we get is very warm weather and very little rainfall. Again, blocking pattern happening over here, which isn't allowing the pattern to move. So we're just in a holding pattern with very warm air. You can see there's no rainfall associated with these lows because the air is very dry, because the upper highs from here are just killing all their rainfall chances. So we need a shift, and that's what the monsoon trough will do. It'll push from the south, and you can see here the highs are starting to sink a little further south, trough starting to dip in, trough starting to dip in. We should start to see northeasterly winds feeding from this area here, coming down into the guts of the country, producing a lot more moisture. Now, I think also the climate models are starting to sense this as well. Look at CFS's latest run for temperatures for February. It's obviously had warm weather. We've got warm water surrounding the country, of course. So it's been going with warm temperatures for Australia, but in the last few days, it's really starting to sense what's going on here. We're going to see a lot of rain and cloud in February form over the country. It's still going to be hot, but the humidity is going to increase, and what should happen is that monsoon trough will be laying across here somewhere, just feeding in moisture to the southeastern states here, with the highs probably going to be anchored over Perth. Western Australia's had a lot of rain in this part of Western Australia in the last couple of months, so it's only natural that we're going to get our turn with the shifting of the patterns. So that's about it for this broadcast. I'll go back to my weather site, of course, avweatherforecast.com. Please go have a look at all my forecasts. I'll be doing regular videos. I've got a couple of requests that I need to do over the next couple of days. Apologies for my voice. It's been a very good holiday period. I hope you had a good one too, and hopefully you can catch up with my next video. Bye for now.